20 goons in the ice cream whip, triple scoop. I got 3 strikes, ain't got to lose. When it's all on the line, what you gonna do? Come on, I'm highly favored. Don't wanna.
Welcome in, everybody. It's the coach. This is Madden 20 on EA Sports. Straight ahead, we've got what should be an interesting matchup between the Indianapolis Colts and the Minnesota Vikings. With that, we send you up to US Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. Standing by our commentators, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Appreciate you, Coach. Well, later tonight in November, snowfall is forecasted to hit the Twin Cities, but right now, calm outside, and of course, a calm day inside US Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Indianapolis Colts and the Minnesota Vikings. Hi again, everyone. Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. And Charles, you look at this Vikings ball club. They're halfway home, looking good at a perfect 8-0.
And not much to complain about so far, is there? I'd have to say they're the best team in the NFL through the first half of the year.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Colts, they were losers their last time out. They're going to try to get back in the win column, but obviously they're going to have to do that in a hostile environment.
And sometimes it actually works to your advantage. Now you've got to band together your team, the us against the world mentality. Let's see if they can use it and get a victory.
They'll fake the handoff. Now Luck. Under pressure, and down he goes. Luck is sacked. A bad start there. A big loss on their first play from scrimmage. It's second down.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Off of play action. Luck. This one complete to Devin Funchess. And he'll go out near midfield at the 49. The catch and run pays off to the tune of 35 yards. All right, Charles, let me put you in the head of one of those defenders out there. You have a big play like that go against you so early. What does that shake your confidence?
It shouldn't, but it often does because your thought process all during the week is how you're going to get after that offense and make your plays. And when they make one against you, makes you a little bit hesitant.
Time to regroup. And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
He had a good game catching the ball in the backfield a week ago, and they're going to try and involve him in that way in this game as well. But you can tell scouting is taking over. They're making it a little bit more difficult.
Yeah, defensively, they told us, hey, we've got to take him out of the passing game, limit it to just short runs, because he can really impact this offense. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings 33.
To win any route, you've got to break down the defender, and that's exactly what happened here on this really nicely executed curl route.
They'll run it here. This is Marlon Mack. Works his way inside the 30 on a pickup of 4.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down, a very solid gain on that play.
He's checking.
And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. 7 yards there and a first down.
Let's go. You tighten up.
Funchess has it complete. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down. Now Love defers to Mack, and he'll go down here at the 12-yard line.
Well, that was a unit that understood exactly where the first down marker was, handed it to their guy who could run it, created some space, and he got there.
And into the red zone now, and Charles, they told us Offense in the red zone was a focus this week in practice.
A huge priority, and the key was to get points. So you know that all the time during the week they talked about executing, taking care of the football, no big mistakes, make sure they put points on the board and come out of it with that.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal, because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
And he takes this one in for a Colts touchdown. Jack Doyle, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Colts take it right down and score on the opening drive. Building confidence after a loss, that's a good way to do it. The loss last game, but first drive here in this one, cashing it in for 6.
And they can talk all they want about putting a loss behind them. I think that drive there did more than any conversation they had, don't you think?
That's exactly right. Puts that to bed. And this is what they said all week long. A lot of things they needed to do differently. But whatever they said appears to have worked. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. So here's the Viking offense making their way out. And their quarterback, well, everyone knows he's got height, standing at 6'6".
And what I enjoyed watching this week when we had a chance to watch them at practice, the easy camaraderie that he has with his offense.
A lot of respect.
A lot of respect, and frankly, I thought it spilled over to the defense. I thought the defensive guys were coming over and teasing and joking with him. You can tell they respect the heck out of him and really want to play well for him.
On the ground, this is Saquon Barkley. And he'll get this from the 25 to the 30 for a pickup of 5.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
Well, a nice throw here, right side. He hauls it in. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. 23 yards the pickup there. With that grab, he now sits at 200 for his career, and maybe more importantly, a first down. Now from Colts territory, here's a 1st and 10 at the 47. Now Saquon Barkley. 20. 34 yards there and a first down.
This has been a good drive so far, and it's been the running game for the most part that's powered them down there. Another nice burst there, picking up a first down. Now it's 1st and 10, as you said, in the red zone.
Cook. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
On 2nd down now, it's Cook. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Dalvin Cook, his 2nd touchdown on the season, as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter. Point after, right down the middle.
I know we don't talk about it enough, but the intelligence level of the guys up front blocking, the offensive linemen, maybe the smartest guys in football overall. Add in a little bit of athleticism and a whole lot of toughness, you got a lot to deal with, don't you?
That's why the guys in the backfield get them really nice Christmas gifts, right?
If they're smart, they do.
And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here comes the Indianapolis offense now as they get set to take over. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're first place in their division. Looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
And let's think about what every team has in their goals, all right? Number 1 goal is what? Make the playoffs. Number 2 goal is win your division. Number 3 goal, and the biggest goal, I think, is to be the highest seed possible that you can be heading into the playoffs so that you can have as many home games as possible to try and get you to the Super Bowl.
And right now fighting for every win possible to try to at least secure home field for the wild card and or divisional round. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Back to throw. Love. That's complete to Whitaker.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch.
But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
The last play on the completion got him half of what they needed. Now here's a tough 3rd and 5. Here's Matt. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. A gain of 11 that time, and a Colts first down.
I definitely like the play call. You don't expect it on 3rd and 5, 3rd and 6, do you? You expect a pass play. Had a little courage there to call the run, and boy, they were successful.
Luck on first down. This goes to Mack on the check down. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense? You're exactly right. It's a tough task to match up to him.
Now a first down throw. Luck into the hands of his running back, Marlon Mack. No gain on the play there. It'll be 2nd down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. On 2nd down, here's a run with Mack. After getting stuffed on first down, not much better there. 2-yard gain.
And this is why aggressive defense coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
Throwing on 3rd down, Luck. And that is incomplete.
Well, Ray, seen him catch a few passes out of the backfield in the first half, unable to connect on that one.
Certainly seems like getting him the ball out of the passing game, though, is part of their game plan.
It certainly is because he catches it well, creates a mismatch. You're going to cover him with a linebacker, a corner, a safety. They feel like he can win every battle.
Come on now, let's go.
And now out comes Minnesota. And it's only November, but the playoffs, we know how it works. They'll be here before you know it. If it ended today, they would be the #1 seed.
And that's a great spot to be in, but I love the phrase, if it ended today. And I'll guarantee you, that's what they've discussed in their locker room, in their meeting rooms. Yeah, we know where we'd be if it ended today, but we also know it's not ending today.
Right.
So they got to continue to play the type of ball that put them in the spot where they're #1 in their conference.
12 yards there. First down, Vikings.
When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen, where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, then all of them going together as one unit downfield. A really nice pickup.
Oh, a battle for it here, and this will be caught. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
Now from Colts territory, here's a 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line. Now this one complete downfield on the left side. Touchdown, Vikings! Chris Godwin with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Vikings have taken the lead.
Brandon, my man, just one sentence for that one. Clinic.
And that's what they've done. They lead the league in points per game this season, but it's been quick strikeability as we saw on that drive.
I think they're actually intimidating defenses because they're back on their heels right away, wondering where it's going to come from, how they're going to hit them. This group is well organized, well coached, and extremely confident in what they do.
And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been had he simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Now the Colts offense gets ready to head back on the field. That 7-0 lead in there is short-lived as they've now given up 2 straight touchdowns to fall behind by 7.
Yeah, but no cause for discouragement here. Yeah, they've fallen behind, but haven't they proven that they can go down and score? So what was the formula to get them down there the first time? Get back to something close to that, and maybe they can get this game tied up.
A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Luck now to throw. Oh, he got position on him, and he pulls it in. A gain there of 21 yards.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, that ball was not streaking towards him. Had a little arc on it. He's got to find a way to get his head around and make a play on the football.
And a 5-yard gain gets him to the 42. 2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. Luck gives this one off to Mack. And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line.
They're making it look easy out there. Another first down. So far on this drive, let me do this little bit of math here. 4 plays, 3 first downs.
That's a pretty good recipe for success. On first down, they'll stay with Mack on the ground. And he's got about 5 yards as he's taken down right at the 25.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits, and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Now a play fake, and it's locked. It's caught by Roberts. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. Catch number 40 for him on the year. It's a first down.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people up to block in front of him, either fellow receivers or offensive linemen? That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. On the draw, Luck's going to give this to Mack. Oh, and Mack has the ball stripped.
Let's stop! Let's stop!
They're trying to keep the drive going. This will be play number 8. It's 3rd and 2. We've hit the 2-minute mark of the second quarter. 14-7. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete. More problems here on 3rd down. They've converted only once so far in this first half.
And you know as well as I do in this league, if you don't win on 3rd down, it makes it hard to win a ball game because then you're relying on your defense, you're relying on your special teams. You've got to get it done with your offensive unit.
That drive took him inside the 10. Good job defensively to hold him to 3.
Yeah, I like how you did that. Give a little tip of the cap to the stop troops there because they didn't give up a touchdown in that situation, right? Made them kick the field goal. And, yeah, points went against them, but that feels a whole lot better running off the field.
Now the Vikings offense works their way back onto the field. And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
So now they'll come up on 2nd and 10, once again from the 28. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The Colts going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important third down.
And over. 5. And ready.
They'll set up to throw. In trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line. Now the Colts going to burn the second of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Here's Riley Dixon now, as his first punt will come from inside his own end zone. Let's take it inside his own 40. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And the Colts are set up well as they take over 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. On first down, it's Love. And they're going to get him. He's taken down for a sack back at the 47-yard line. Now Luck says, let's get going as he'll hustle him to the line. Roberts has it. That catch good for 5. It's third down. They'll get to the line here, but remember, it's also third down. Now Luck. Taken in by the tight end Doyle. 2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's fourth down. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. 46 on his first kick. This one in that neighborhood as well. Now we get a peek at the captain of this offense heading back out there. He's played a pretty clean first half, a touchdown, no interceptions.
Frankly, that's what they expect out of him. They want to see the ball thrown and thrown well, and he's able to do that and put it in the end zone. They'd love to see more of that before this game finishes. But right now, he's got his team in a good spot.
A good spot, maybe looking for touchdown pass number 2 here in the second quarter. Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete. After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. 2nd and 10. That's complete to his receiver, Godwin. The 30. Past the 20. Touchdown, Vikings. Chris Godwin. In the final seconds of the first half. And the Vikings get the quick strike touchdown. I'll let you do the analysis, partner, but with every touchdown pass this young quarterback throws and with the success that his team has had, I just continue to be more and more impressed.
Let's both do the analysis. Impressed. Aren't we both?
Yeah.
I mean, and why shouldn't we be? We've seen him improve throughout the year. We've seen him settle in now, and you can see the confidence of the team has grown. His confidence has grown. I think that everyone around this guy feels good about what they've seen, and it's also safe for him when he's driving home to turn on Sports Talk Radio. He's okay.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. Time here for likely one play, then off to the locker room, and they're going to have some adjustments to make.
They certainly will, and I think a lot of people are thinking to themselves, all right, take the knee, get out of here, regroup. But how will the head coach and his staff approach halftime? Will it be angry? Will it be clinical? Will they be calm? Will they just let it all out? Who knows? I'd love to be a fly on the wall for this one, though.
So we have reached halftime here in an 11-point contest. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thank you very much. More from you two in a minute, but first, let's take a spin around the NFL and see what's going on here in week number 10. We'll begin out in the windy city of Chicago, and it's the Buccaneers who are out in front. 2 touchdown passes there for Jameis Winston. From Chicago, we head north to the home of their rivals as we check on the Packers at home in Lambeau. And they trail in that ball game to the visiting Tennessee Titans. Corey Davis, a touchdown reception. Finally, let's get down to the Bayou. Check on the Saints at home at the Mercedes-Benz Superdome. And they trail the visiting Lions in that one. 2 touchdown passes for Matthew Stafford. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half. Who can put it together in the second half? For the answer, we turn it back over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Vikings have to like their position. They've got the lead. They get this football as well as we are back and underway for the second half. This is taken at the 3. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. They'll look to throw here on first down. Looking for Godwin, and he's got him complete. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, he often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for second down, staying ahead of schedule. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
That's a good, nice, crisp run for a first down. I wonder if the defense might have been loosened up a little bit, maybe anticipating a pass instead of the run that they got.
They keep it with Barkley on first down. And he's going to get 7 out of this before being taken down at the 27.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball, protect this lead, give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. 2nd and 3. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Dalvin Cook, he scored on the ground and through the air. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. Well, I think, and correct me if I'm wrong, but his top 2 options were not available on that throw, so he went the safe route. Worked out pretty well.
It was like you were in the pocket. How about you going through the progressions like that? What a lot of offenses say, touchdown to check down. Look downfield first, bring it back to the line of scrimmage. Not easy for a rookie to do. Oftentimes they get one look, and they make their decision off of that. He went through 3. That was impressive.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. Here's the Colts now as they get ready for their first possession on offense of the second half. And their halftime hole now even deeper, and they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
5th catch of the game for him there.
Yeah, and the tight end position is now becoming a volume pass catcher. Used to be occasional, right? Safety valve. Throw one to him every so often, but mainly they want him out there to block. Nowadays, an integral part of the passing game, and they create such great mismatches that they often become the leading receiver.
So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line.
Let's pick it up. It's out of time.
From the gun, here's Locke. He completes this one to Mack.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9. They'll run it. It's Matt. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
But these guys got to chop into that deficit. They got to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage will be found.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. A shotgun snap for Locke. Is this intercepted? It is. It's intercepted. Picked off by the Pro Bowler, Anthony Barr. And his guys are going to get the football at their own 47-yard line.
Offensively, when you see cover 2, the thought has to go through the quarterback's head. Drive the football when making throws. It's not just the deep guys covering. It's the guys underneath you have to be careful of. Drive your throw. Otherwise, you see what results? Interceptions.
So good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 on their side of midfield at the 47.
Slam, slam, slam.
Now.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
Well, this at least is the right idea. I think they've got to get the tight end more involved.
He had just 1 target in the first half. Incomplete. Now incomplete here with the first target of the second half.
Yeah, should not stop them at all from going back to him, though. Find him. Find him.
There's a ball thrown right side and complete. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. He's certainly been a huge factor in this one. He's got the 2 touchdowns to his credit. Now they look to him again. He picks up the first.
Yeah, I can hear everyone saying, well, why don't you cover him, double him, triple him, do what you have to do. But sometimes they get locked into such a groove and such a connection, it doesn't matter how many guys are in his area.
He certainly looks to be in that groove right now. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. That one goes for 30 yards. What a game it's been for this duo.
They remind me of a good comedy team. They know how to play off of each other so well. No matter how one riffs, the other's right there to pick them up, and they are shredding them in this ballgame.
2 big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit them, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal.
You draw Corker. Ready?
They'll try and run for it with Barkley. Try to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal.
That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
Nothing on 1st down, so the ball remains at the 8-yard line. 2nd and goal. Here's 2nd and 8. And down he goes. Pressure gets him back at the 14. Justin Houston able to record his 5th sack of the season.
2nd goal, last thing you need to do is get pushed backwards to take a sack. But he couldn't find anywhere to go with the football. Had to eat it and ended up on the ground.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. That's complete. He's got Barkley out of the backfield. 10 yards gets him closer, but now it's 4th and goal.
Whether you're playing West Coast offense or not, one of the maxims of the West Coast offense is you're either throwing a touchdown or a check down. In other words, look for the big shot, but be smart. And I think they did exactly that on that play. They didn't get the first down, but they're taking care of the ball well.
Yeah, and being rightly cautious with that lead here in the second half. They'll set up a throw. He's got his man. It's taken in for a Viking touchdown. Chris Godwin, his 3rd touchdown of the game, 10th on the year. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. There was a lot of zip on that pass, and baseball might have called that a frozen rope.
I like it when you bring the diamond into the game. I'm going back to the gridiron. Had some heat on that bad boy. Sometimes you throw a touchdown pass, and sometimes
you throw, what, a touchdown strike?
There you go. That's my man, in concert.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This will be taken in at the 1. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. And now Indianapolis set to take the field. They've got to dig down deep. I mean, they need something right now, really anything to cling on to. This offense has struggled.
Partner, join me in a walk to their locker room.
Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down.
Tremendous read and reaction by the defensive tackle. And frankly, partner, it's not that often the DTs have that type of easy access back to the quarterback. Never bought the play-action fake.
Another try after the first down sack. Luck. Funches has it complete. They get 14 back, but it leads now to a 3rd down.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
And we return, welcoming you back to Minneapolis. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4. Throwing is Luck. Oh, a ball batted in the air, and now it's intercepted. Xavier Rhodes with a pick. And he's going to score. It's a Viking touchdown. Defensively, they've had their way in this one. That pick 6 makes that scoreboard even more lopsided.
I remember talking with a guy in the league, and I said, what do you do when the game's like this? You know, it's pretty much over. You ready to go to the bench and hang out? He said, oh, heck no. I want to stay on the field. I might get some stats. I might get a pick or 2.
You like being out there at the end of these wide margins.
When they have to throw it, that gives you more opportunities to go get it.
Now for the point after. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick 6. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20. And the Colts coming out now. And fresh off the pick 6, they've got to forget about that quickly.
In this case now, the guy throwing the ball, he's got to be like what we talk about with defensive backs who get beat for a long touchdown. Short-term memory, right back out there doing the things that he does best, and knowing that taking care of the ball is paramount. Here's his opportunity.
It all comes back to those defensive backs for the former DB, right?
I don't know where that comes from. It just kind of emerges out of me for some reason.
Deep in there, right? Now the pass brought in by Roberts. He'll have a first down past the 40. And finally down at the 36-yard line. The catch and run pays off to the tune of 35 yards. Defensively, I know they have the comfortable lead here in the 4th, but they do not want to give up big plays like that.
They want to finish strong. So oftentimes in this situation, you tighten up underneath in your coverage, and you bring your safeties back. They can pick up anything that leaks through. But in the meantime, upfield, you're making plays on the football.
Give the Colts 13 yards and a first down.
Let's go.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. To the air again, Locke. He's got Jack Doyle. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9.
Get ready.
It's been all passing all the time on this drive. 5 for 5, and now 1st and goal.
Feels like a case of until they stop us, we might as well keep running the offense that we like to run. Don't change up and do something different.
Now a hit and lost the football. It's out.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back, because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
The 10-yard completion, but still now facing 3rd and goal. The Colts on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. They're looking at a 3rd and goal here. Here's Locke. And he's got his man. It's Hilton for the Colts touchdown. T.Y. Hilton, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Colts are able to draw a bit closer. That's why you've got your star out there. Throw the ball to him. They did.
That's simply saying we don't care what coverage you put out there. He's so good, we're going there with the football anyway, and there's not a thing you can do about it.
Inside the red zone, they go to him. He gets it done. Extra point by Fairbairn, up and good. And that will get him one closer. So that drive goes 8 plays. And it culminates in an Indianapolis touchdown. This is taken at the 3. And not a bad return. Here he gets it out to the 25-yard line. Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20 behind a long time ago in this game, didn't they? It looks like they're heading towards a big, big number. But 20 was the threshold because that kept them in the ball game and kept the pressure off of their own offense.
And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. He'll get 15 and a Vikings 1st down. And looking to put this game on ice in the 4th quarter, but still not afraid to throw it as they show there.
You want to play the game with confidence, and they have a guy who's in control right now. Their trigger guy, throwing it, they feel just as confident with him doing that as they would if they tried to run the ball and run the clock out.
Now whistles and a timeout. Looks like we've got a Viking slow to get up. We'll check on his status when we get back.
Check X3. 286, big trip.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
Trying to get that one to his tight end, and they've been trying to get the ball to him, but as of yet, unable to successfully complete one. But you know, there's usually a nice comfort zone in throwing to the tight end. Great sight lines, usually right in the middle of the field.
He'll look to throw. That'll be complete to Cook. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or 2 shy of the 40.
When you have someone throwing it that well, that confidently, you don't have to call the game in fear at all, do you? You just go ahead and play.
Have confidence with a lead to throw it here in the 4th, and boom, he's on the money.
Yeah, you don't have to tuck your head in and go like turtle at this point. You can just go ahead and play.
Safety screaming. You gonna take.
Pilot, 64, weak. Snap.
1st down, here's the run with Cook. The tackle made by Todd Davis.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellows up front in order to bring this one home.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. They have got a 2nd down now as they look to salt this one away. Looking downfield for Godwin. And at the 7-yard line, the catch is made. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5. It's a gain of 34. Boy, another big play late here for an offense, Charles, that certainly has had its fair share of big plays.
Coverage has been a problem all game long, and I would say that going along with that has been confidence, because even if they had the right coverage, they've still dented them.
And give them another 6. It's caught for a touchdown, and the blowout continues. And for them, this train, it just keeps rolling, doesn't it? Well on their way to yet another victory.
Yeah, it's almost a runaway, isn't it? And you just wonder how anyone could stop this. They got full momentum going, full confidence going, but it's not just their own confidence that is leading them.
It took them an extra look, but they found out it is a touchdown indeed. The official says this one counts. And, boy, talk about adding insult to injury. He's into the end zone to tack on 2 more. And is there bad blood here? I mean, go for 2 when you're up that much?
If there wasn't before, there is now. When you do that, you've just announced to everyone, you just don't care about the other side at all. All you care about is what you're doing, and they just want to pile up points.
They did. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
Let's go!
The Colts offensive unit ready to see what they can do here. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest.
Don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Yeah, use that as ammo going forward.
Exactly. Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it, because
you're not going to want. And now nothing but green ahead of him. The 20, 10, and he's across for the touchdown. Too little, too late, but he does get in for 6.
No wonder you're grinning. You just beat me in our fantasy league.
Indeed I did, my good man.
And yeah, that touchdown counts for their team, but I think it counts more for the fantasy guys, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's just something maybe positive to look at on film, but this one's over, let's be honest.
Yeah, I agree with you totally on that one.
Fairbairn good with the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. This fielded at the 2. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. And a few kneel downs should just about do it. Now defensively they do have all 3 timeouts, but very little reason to use them at this point. They'll come out throwing here on first down. Throw right side, taken in by Godwin. 28 yards the gain there on the catch and run.
Quarterbacks love slant routes because the receivers are breaking right into their line of vision, and receivers love them as well because they're getting the ball on the move and able to catch it and try and get upfield and gain additional yardage.
Over the middle, he finds Godwin complete, and they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. That's back-to-back plays of over 20 yards.
Ready. 18, ready.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And a scary incompletion, almost picked off. It would have been their first INT of the game. Instead, second down. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down.
Go!
That one looks like he'll throw here. His throw caught right around the 6. And they corral him just a couple yards shy of the end zone. Now whistles and a timeout called here. Not sure of the point of this, but they'll stop it with 4 seconds to go in the game. Well, they probably don't need to run a play here, but you wonder if they're going to be able to resist on 1st and goal. Back to throw again. And this will be caught. Well, forget taking the knee. Some late gamesmanship here as they throw for a late touchdown. He has really settled in throwing the football, and that touchdown here in the 4th quarter gives him a pretty comfortable cushion.
He may be a rookie, but he's playing like 4th quarter, and the QBing is easy. How about this guy? Youngster, not worried about anything, just cutting it loose and having fun.
So we had action to the very end of this one to score on the final play that they didn't need to have. They didn't just run out the clock, though. They added to their final total.
Played it all the way to the end. And, you know, some coaches preach that and tell their teams, that's what I want all the time. And they feel like if they don't do it themselves, they're not living up to the message that they're sending out.
So for Minnesota, the train just keeps rolling. 9-0 now to start this campaign. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Detroit Lions. Meanwhile, for Indianapolis, They suffer their 4th loss so far, and they'll look to regroup next week as they head to Houston to take on the Texans. And for Charles Davis and our entire